So, Dipali Mahto, anthropology. Dipali, tell
Yes.
me something about yourself.
So my name is Dr. Deepali Mahto. I've done my BDS from Government Dental College and Hospital, and I currently stay in Mumbai and practice dentistry in Mumbai. My native place is Bihar, and my hobbies include Madhubani painting and reading fiction books.
So, your friends who are MBBS, do they discriminate between you and them?
So I believe that the discrimination that is between MBBS and BDS is only till the entrance level, and once they both start learning about each other and their level of expertise, and there is a mutual respect between both the branches.
So, why not medical sciences? Why anthropology?
So, because the medical sciences has specialist subject which I have not learned in my BDS degree, because there is some special subjects like which would have been difficult for me to study on my own without practical knowledge.
So, who do you identify yourself as, a Marathi or a Bihari?
I will say that I am both because I have grown up in a household that is Bihari in nature, but a society which is Marathi in nature. So I am both.
So, who do you want us to involve more in this questionnaire, in this interview? We should ask you more about Maharashtra or Bihar or both or none.
Uh, Before Marathi or a Bihari, I'm an Indian. So you can ask me questions from any other sides.
I was expecting this answer when you said, sir, I identify myself with both. The better, quirkier answer should have been, yeah, would have been, sir, I qualify for we the people of India. So,
Yes.
sir, I want to be included in that we, which does not discriminate between a Bihari and a Marathi. Okay, tell me one thing. Let's talk about discrimination. Let's start with another topic of discrimination. Maharashtrians have felt that they are too much inward looking and they are very discriminatory towards the outsiders, especially if a person speaks Maithili, Santhali, Bihari languages, or the Punjabi, or the Hindi, or the northern languages, Haryanvi languages. They'll judge you for being an outsider and they'll be discriminating against you. Is that true perception of a Maharashtrian society, Dipali?
From what I have experienced, I have found Maharashtrian as a society are very welcoming. I've never been discriminated, neither in my friend circle or in my day-to-day living in Mumbai. Rather, of course, there is I would say there is a cultural exclusion that is between Bihari and Maharashtrians that leads to some kind of differences, but that is not the widespread belief of the Maharashtrians.
So you feel that Maharashtra is a multicultural and a cosmopolitan society.
Yes.
Any differences between the two? What is multiculturalism? What is cosmopolitanism?
Multiculturalism is where multiple cultures coexist, and have their own belief system present. And cosmopolitan is where the culture is moving towards more openness or Western ideas that, in my limited knowledge, I might be wrong about cosmopolitan, but multicultural is where everyone exists and have their own culture identification.
Maybe cosmopolitanism I can associate with globalization, a
Yes.
city which has more foreigners, a city which possesses more foreigners. See, Bihar is also a multicultural society, but a city which is open to more foreigners. There is a scientist who's coming from Germany, and there is an architect who's coming from France. There is an actor or a singer who's coming from, let us say, America, and they are all having a concert. The concert happens to be in Mumbai. So cosmopolitanism is more about nationalities. चलिए ठीक है. Would you have prevented the Kumbh deaths, Ms. Dipali, if you would have been the DM of that particular place or in charge of that Kumbh Mela? They were very unfortunate deaths, right?
The death that happened in Kumbh was very unfortunate. But the deaths, I believe that even those administrators that were working there 24 into 7, day to night, might have worked very seamlessly, very effortlessly to prevent those deaths. But yes, that could have been prevented, especially with taking the time, especially that happened on the auspicious day of Amrit Snan. That is there when we believe that the number of people will be more. And that happened in night when it kept the whole administration at was not aware that this will happen at night. More effort was taking for the morning. So yes, this could have been prevented with unidirectional flow of crowd, barricading, increasing the personals. But I believe that the work that the administration has done is also commendable.
Tell me, let's talk about the floods in Mumbai. Why does Mumbai have urban floods? It is a planned city, I feel. It still has urban floods. Okay, it is unplanned. Okay, बताइए.
Mumbai being one of the unplanned cities and has seen increasing population since 1880s with migration, and being surrounded by sea from three areas, and that leads to unidirectional flow of sea waves. And during monsoon, as well as simultaneous high tides, it leads to increasing flood. Then there is low-lying areas, as well as encroachment of the three major rivers, Dahisar, Oshiwara, and uh, Shivara and Methi River, which leads to more flooding because of encroachment, increased population. So these are the challenges why Mumbai faces severe flood, and also a meteorological factor, that is it receives 34% of rain in 3 to 4 days. That is one of the major reasons why Mumbai faces flood.
Hmm. What about the safety of women? Delhi is perceived to be unsafe for women in India in the north. Do we also have the same perception of Mumbai?
I believe Mumbai is one of the cities that a girl who is staying alone will say that I'm most safe. I can also travel. I have traveled in Mumbai till 1 p.m., 2 a.m. So that shows that Mumbai is pretty safe. Even the local transportation, like local trains, have a police officer associated or aligned with a ladies coach. That also gives us a sense of security. So I say Mumbai is a very safe city.
So, apart from that, what other things can Delhi or any other good metro city learn from Mumbai?
The other cities that can learn from Mumbai is to make the public transportation very secure, safe, with allocation of police officers, increasing lighting on the street lights, improving beat policing at night, so that these kind of incidents do not happen. As well as there is already online number that is to give one stop solution for women. So these three factors, when play, women feel secure. And fourthly, I will say the ease of by which a woman can file a complaint, and the fast, efficient manner by which the complaint solves. That also gives a feeling of fulfillment as well as satisfaction for women, and security that will prevail.
Hmm. Don't you think your answer was only unidimensional? There are so many other things that Mumbai can teach in terms of social values, culture, in terms of its liberal mindset, in terms of, let us say, people have a lot of affinity for their, or loyalty towards their city. They proudly call themselves Mumbaikars. No other city calls themselves with their names. Some do. So, don't you think that you would want to add something which even I would have forgotten or you would have forgot?
As you have rightly pointed out, the cultural aspect, that Mumbai is very liberal and it does not dictate how a woman should wear or dress up, or at what time she should venture out. Thirdly, I would say it has women, because Mumbai being in Maharashtra has also cosmopolitan nature, as well as influence of multiple cultures, like and foreign nations. That has also given Mumbai a sense of different belongingness or a security, especially for women. And fourthly, I would say the women employment rates has also been a important factor in Mumbai being a safe city.
Okay. So, if you were India's ambassador to America, who would you have preferred? That who becomes your, the country you are living in, the boss of that country? Donald Trump or Kamala Harris?
So I would have preferred, as a resident of USA, I would have preferred,
As an India's ambassador to America.
as an India's ambassador to America, I would have said Kamala Harris, because the decisions that were taken during Biden administration, especially the Quad or the deals that we had uh, ventured out, like in the ICET, that emerging technology.
Deepali, tell me one thing. Did the Indian state fail in Manipur? 2 years of loss of life and liberty, property. Don't you think that we failed? We should now call spade a spade.
Yes, sir. I believe that Indian state has failed in Manipur, especially in not taking the proactive decisions and swift decisions, actions that were required in controlling the violence as well as the violences that happened against women. The steps that the government has taken currently could have been taken earlier, but said so because one, we thought that this is an law and order issue and did not see that other challenges, especially the ethnic challenges that were present. We did not consider those because of which the clashes kept on continuing. So, had we taken faster steps, increased dialogue between the Home Affairs Minister with the Manipur people and pacifying them would have reduced the challenges that the Manipur is facing currently.
Okay. Dipali, would you do this activity for me? Please arrange these things in the order of importance. So, most important to least important, I'll give you three organizations: BIMSTEC, SARC, and ASEAN. BIMSTEC, SARC, and ASEAN. You arrange them one, two, three on the basis of most important, the first, least important, the third for India.
So it should be BIMSTEC, ASEAN, and SARC.
And why?
BIMSTEC because we especially because of increasing Chinese presence in the Bay of Bengal region, BIMSTEC organization will improve security, and it's not only security organization but also focuses on technology, sea security, and also navigation. As Malacca Strait uh, is present, and 90% of the trade of the world happens through sea.
Okay,
Secondly,
Diwali. I'll fault you here. You tell me one more thing. Should we abolish NAM? Should India exit out of NAM, non-aligned movement, or should India still keep on lingering on with it?
so rather than coming out of NAM, we should more focus on restructuring and reorganizing NAM so that it reshapes itself towards the current geopolitical and uh, geopolitical scenario and becomes relevant. Because on which the basic visions or the principles on which NAM was present is also now structuring, like multilateralism as well as multilateralism and non-alignment, and keeping uh, s- keeping one strategic importance. So, and strategic, that will be my suggestion.
So, Dipali, which is more important for your body, your heart, your lungs, or your kidneys? In the order of importance, one, two, three.
Heart, lungs, and kidneys.
So, can you work without any one of these?
I cannot work without any of these because you had said to structure them or order them. That's the reason I kept or I gave an order for it.
Okay, tell me why is throw ball not famous in India? Not as popular as cricket or any other, even football.
So throwball is not famous in India because of one will be lack of talents in initial years because it's not played in the school levels, which leads to attraction of players. Second will be the required infrastructure that is required, especially the training, the coaches, as well as the equipments that are required. And third will be lack of international recognition and sponsorship that throwball as a game should have, because of which our counterpart cricket is more recognized as compared to throwball.
Dipali, tell me, does tobacco, the chewable tobacco, the gutka, also cause mouth cancer?
Yes, sir. Tobacco is one of the leading causes of mouth cancer.
Then why is the state not banning the sale of these harmful, sin goods? I would say the drugs.
In my opinion, the it should be banned, but it is not being banned because of the excise or the VAT that the tobacco products bring to the state, which is one of the essential components of revenue generation for welfare scheme. So this because of which tobacco is not being banned by the center or the state.
But it is a very commonsensical thing that we are selling poison and taking money, and then our people are dying, and then we are spending on their health. And it's an unsocial activity that is happening around. and the hospitals are burdened, the people are dying of cancer. India does not have those facilities. So many things are linked to this single pouch of tobacco. So why are we still, why is there no voice against it? Why is no one, why is the Dental Association of India or some other body representing to the government regarding this?
The Dental Council of India has already filed that how that risk benefit assessment of the tobacco product should be done, because 1.67% of the GDP is now being used for the especially the harmful effects of tobacco, like cleaning of the infrastructure as well as the cancer that happens. Secondly, there we all should also move forward by the international practices like Australia and New Zealand, how they are banning tobacco products. Of course, this will be a small pain, but will be a give larger benefits in future, especially in terms of healthcare as well as infrastructure damage that the tobacco product does.
So, as a student of dental sciences and as an anthropologist, also, I would think that you would be knowing this, or you would give me a good explanation. That are the Indian teeth getting weak day by day? Are the dentures? Are there more problems related to the lifestyle, or it's in the genes that the human tooth is getting weaker day by day?
So, the major causes of dental, there are three major diseases that happen in teeth. One is dental caries. Second is periodontitis, that is the loosening of the gums. And third is oral cancer. And above for the above two, the cause is due to not brushing of the teeth properly, non access to dental health care and hygiene. And thirdly will be use of more lifestyle habits that has happened, that is to move towards very ultra fine food that is high in sugar, which sticks to your teeth and lead to caries, as well as periodontitis is also one of the that trees. And for oral cancer, that is that is a habit disease due to overconsumption of tobacco products, both in smokeless and smoke form.
Which fiction book did you read recently,
So,
the most recent one?
so I read The Thousand Splendid Sun by Khalid Hosni recently.
Okay, tell me about the book.
So it is a book about Mariam, who has been married at a very young age, and then it's based in Afghanistan. And after marriage, she has to suffer the domestic abuse, and then and as well as infertility issue. And then her husband marries twice, a second time for a child. And then this turmoil happens in Afghanistan, that the Taliban has taken over. And what are the challenges that the women face, especially access to
Hmm.
that women are not.
Okay. So, how do you see Khaled Hosseini as an author? So, have you read any of his other works? Like, can you
So,
categorize him as a particular genre?
he writes mostly based on reality-based fiction. The other book that he has wrote is The Kite Runner, which I am planning to read but have not read recently. And he tries to portray, or he has imagination that he will bring you to the to the world. His book, while reading, you will be mesmerized by his writing as well as be surrounded by his imaginary world.
Can we
And
call him a
he
melancholic writer who portrays sadness to the core?
Yes, it can be said that he's a melancholic writer, because the major book that he have written is based on Afghanistan war, and that leaves the reader with a melancholy or sadness in the end of the reading of book. Because
So,
even I felt
Kite
that.
Runner is sad, and Splendid Sons you've read. Splendid Sons is sad. Do you know about the third book, The Mountains Echoed?
So I have not read it. I'll not even.
Any other writer from the contemporary non-fiction writers who you would want to categorize similar to Khalid Hosseini?
Sorry, sir.
Have you read Murakami?
No, sir.
Okay, what other books have you read apart from Khalid Hosseini?
So currently, I'm reading Estherine Kerr's The Spirit Nights.
Hmm,
It's not completed, and it's mostly based on the Naga tradition and
hmm.
spirits that summons. That is more anthropologically based, as well as the first book that I'm reading about and written by a northeastern author. So I have not completed it, but it's in the progress.
Okay, any other book which you've completed apart from this book?
Arvind Adigal's The White Tiger that I've read.
Okay, was the web series better or the book better?
So I've not seen the web series. because I found that the web series as well as the novel sometimes are not in confluence, especially with the Harry Potter novels that I read.
Exactly.
The movies are not the same.
Hmm. So Madhubani painting, what is so special about these paintings?
So Madhubani painting represent mythological figures as well as animals, birds as natural figures, and they are intricate and geometrical uh, designs and patterns, which usually used to happen with the natural colors that was prepared by women and women of Bihar or Mithila, from which my mother belongs. So this is very unique about Madhubani painting, and it's a folk art.
Okay. So tell me, why was BRICS expanded recently?
So the BRICS was expanded to increase its influence because it is an organization that represents the southern states or the developing countries, and
Hmm.
with its expansion, it moved towards Middle East countries as well as Africa. Ethiopia, Egypt, as well as UAE was included in BRICS.
Hmm. So why did Mr. Modi visit Kuwait?
I'm not able to recall it. Sorry.
You read about it, no worries. Are you aware of the Project 75, Dipali?
Sorry, sir. Sorry, sir.
Okay, are you aware of Mazagon Dock?
Was down dog, yes, sir.
It's a shipbuilding station there. तो
Yes, sir.
प्रोजेक्ट 75 इज द सबमरीन्स
Yes,
जो
sir.
बन रही हैं, और वो कहाँ पर बन रही हैं? मैज़ागॉन डॉक में
Was
बन
down
रही हैं.
dogs. Okay, sir.
ठीक है. Okay, there was a recent circular in Delhi regarding the Rohingya children. Are you aware of that circular by the Delhi government, that the children of Rohingyas will not be allowed to study in the public schools of Delhi? So how do you see it as an administrator? Will it withstand the scrutiny of the constitution, or yes, we can exclude the foreigners and aliens from all these, the things which we have: roti kapda and makan and shiksha for the common poor Indian children. So how do you see this notification?
So for administration, as an administration, it is more about getting maximum benefit from the small resources that we have. And for as administrator, the efficiency part is one of the major factors while deciding any step. And as public schools are run by government money, it is more focused on providing education to the local citizens or the residents. But said so, the Rohingya street street children kept out of the purview of education is also against the right to education. That is Article 21A, which is a fundamental right that we provide even to the non citizens of India. So said so, we cannot keep them out of education because yes, there will be some crunches on the resources, but keeping out of education is for the children which have suffered the losses of the of war will show India very in a very negative perspective in the international sphere also, as well also in the in the internal sphere also.
Okay. So you're aware of about the Uttarakhand government's decision to regulate the live-in relationships. So what
Yes,
are
sir.
the challenges in that particular decision or the ruling?
So the ruling provides that any couple should get their complete registration if either of them belong to Uttarakhand and if they are not even staying in Uttarakhand, which is against the right to privacy that that the adult should have. Secondly, it also leads to scrutiny in the public sphere about the live-in relationship because it has still not getting the same recognition as the marriage. And thirdly, it will also lead to increased moral policing in future, where these couples will be discriminated. So these are the challenges with the registration of live-in relationship the couples are facing.
Hmm. Are you happy with the budget, the recent budget?
I would say yes, I am happy with the recent budget. From a citizen perspective, it has focused more on the consumer as well as the taxpayer side, which will increase, especially in keeping in the mind. with the economic slowdown that the world is facing, and the government has taken proactive steps to increase the government economic efficiency in India by increasing the consumer base, which will eventually lead to a vicious cycle of economic growth in future, as well as it has a.
Have you heard Ranbir Allahabadia, Dipali?
So I have not watched videos about Ranveer Alabadia, but the recent controversy I have read about.
You've read about the recent controversy. So, why was he not arrested, first of all? Dipali, would you have arrested him if you were the SP of that particular area where the complaints were filed? What would you have done? SP होने के नाते आप क्या करती?
It depends whether the offense that he has been booked is cognizable or non-cognizable. If
Hmm.
it is a cognizable offense, then I could have not arrested him. Secondly, the it has of course led to public getting uh, affected by his comments, but it has not led to any change, difficulty in the public order. So currently, arresting him will be against the right to freedom that is enshrined in Article 19. But yes, taking necessary steps and filing cases against him against the necessary required articles will be the step that I would have taken. And thirdly, would be to pacify the people that yes, I will take the necessary steps in the purview of the government, the laws of the state.
Hmm. What about the KIIT tragedy that the Nepali girl has died? Many other students have also felt the heat. You know, the Africans were discriminated against and they were beaten up by, and the Afghans had those issues in India. And some of the Bangla students, we've seen violence with them. And now the Nepali students, which is nothing new. Do you think that the Indian society is xenophobic? And what steps would you take so that these occurrences don't happen as an administrator?
So I believe that there have been instances where Indian society has shown that it is xenophobic, especially with the countries which are not as developed as them, especially the Africans as well as Nepalis. But said so, we also believe in the statement of Atiti Devo Bhava, where we welcome everyone that come to our country with open hands and open arms. And we are providing the necessary steps that and the law of the state is also working in favor with the Nepali girl and the challenges that she faced, as well as those who beat up the African student.
So what will you do in future? How will you prevent it? Yeah, what steps would you take, Dipali?
So
आपको
the
हेल्थ
steps that
सेक्रेटरी बना देते हैं या सॉरी हेल्थ सेक्रेटरी नहीं, आपको एजुकेशन सेक्रेटरी बना देते हैं इंडिया का, एंड इट कम्स अंडर योर प्रीव्यू. वेरी सीनियर. हाँ जी, बताइए.
So, as a education secretary, I will have the firstly those institutions which are inviting or are accommodating foreign students. They should have a dedicated cell that firstly hears their grievances and tries to follow them. Secondly, a regular annual report from these institutions, how many cases they have filed and how on what steps they have taken. These will be. Thirdly, for increasing awareness among the public will be also my step that will to increase the instill that these xenophobic sentiments negatively hurt our country as well as affect the image of the country and against our principle of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, where one world, one family. So that should be our focus. And thirdly, any instances or any misinformation that is being spread in the name of xenophobic should be challenged or should be dealt in the required manner.
Is India not ready for dark comedy, Dipali?
So, if we take the case, that recent case, India's latent show that
Hmm.
was held, it was more of a dark comedy, and it was being taken as a comedy till the time the comments were not against the social sentiments of the society. The dark comedy, when kept in according to the purview of the required societal standards, will be accepted. But when it crosses that standard, it will not be
Very good.
accepted.
This is a very good answer. अब मुझे एक और बात बताएं. I was recently reading about a right called right to be forgotten. Yeah. So are you aware of that?
Yes, sir. This is right to forgotten, especially to those criminal or some accused. who again face the same challenges because the Google searches used to show them in news articles, which were impacting their social life as well as professional life. So they recommend, say though they asked the government, and under the uh, and Supreme Court has judged in the favor of right to be forgotten, where these kind of articles or Google searches can be removed.
Okay, was the matter sub judice in the Indian Supreme Court? In regarding the right to be forgotten, can you cite the case study?
Sorry, sir, I'm not able to recall the case study, but it was said that in certain cases, right to be forgotten can be given, but not in all cases.
Okay, so how is it different from right to privacy?
The right to privacy is the right whether that individual enjoys that especially in terms of living or eating or that does not affect any other. But the right to be forgotten is it also affect the others because it is one of the rights by which others can know about him. So it is
और
more.
you can simply say दीपाली कि राइट टू बी फॉरगॉटन कौन सी इंफॉर्मेशन को प्रोटेक्ट कर रही है जो पब्लिक डोमेन पे है एंड राइट टू प्राइवेसी प्रोटेक्ट्स दैट इंफॉर्मेशन व्हिच इज नॉट इन पब्लिक डोमेन
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
है ना वी कुड फिगर आउट अ वन लाइनर सिंगल वन लाइनर फॉर इट ठीक है दीपाली और इंटरव्यू इज ओवर एंड व्हाट डू यू थिंक हाउ डिड यू फेयर
I think I was very fast.